Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 6. And before we get into it, let me start off by saying I have a lot to say. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm prepared to tussle with y'all in the chat, in the comments, because you can say what you want, but one thing will always remain true. Heather has been jealous of Lisa Barlow since day one. I've been saying this forever. This is why you can't be friends with somebody who's jealous of you, because Heather's actions all throughout this episode, in my opinion, were troubling. That talk with Meredith, girl, why do you care if Meredith wants to make amends and be cool with Lisa? Like, why do you care so much? The constant, I want to be Lisa's friend, we're friends, but yet you try to throw her under the bus and shade her in the confessionals. It's weirdo behavior. Again, y'all, I am prepared to tussle, because I know that a lot of y'all feel like I'm just so biased when it comes to Lisa, even though I'm not. But I'm prepared. I'm telling y'all right now, I have a lot of words for Miss Heather. Also, Britani, it's going to be you and I once again, because y'all know how I feel about deadbeat parents. That scene with Britani and her daughter, I said, Olivia, the daughter's name, I said, Olivia, whack her again. Whack her for me. Because, girl, Britani, this is so shameful that you are still having trouble putting your children first over a man. And your daughter got you good. Again, I was gagging. This episode, y'all, was really good. I enjoyed it. Nobody is doing it like Salt Lake City right now. Again, S.6 is that girl, and she is giving what the other girls were supposed to have gave. Everybody is working, and I am here for it. Okay? Listen. Okay, okay, yes, you're right. We are calling her a deadbeat. We're not calling her Britani anymore. Her name is Deadbeat. I have a feeling that I'll be standing with Brooke today. I'm not even a fan of Lisa, but yeah, listen. I'm not asking y'all to be fans of Lisa. All I'm saying is just hear me out. This is a hill that I have been standing on for quite some time, that Heather is disingenuous and she has a plot and a plan to take Lisa down. And this is why I will always say, you cannot be friends with somebody who's jealous of you, who wants to be you, who's obsessed with you, who put you on a pedestal, because it does not work. We are seeing in real time how Heather has infiltrated her way into Lisa's life as her new best friend and now trying to take her out. Child, call me dramatic, but I'm just calling it the way I see it, okay? But guys, without further ado, let's get right on into it, because you guys already know that we don't have a minute to spare. Yes, honey, I'm being vindicated today. I sure am. All right. Yes, Heather is very weird. She's been obsessed with Lisa since season 1. Exactly. Okay, so you said Lisa is a fraud exposed. Well, I'll say this. I'm not saying that Lisa does not have her faults, because she does. And we're going to talk about that with that scene with her and John. But two things can be true. She can be a lot. She can be insufferable in her own way, but it does not negate the fact that Heather is still jealous and trying to take her out. Like, you get where I'm going with that. You get what I'm putting, you picking up what I'm putting down. So we'll talk about all that, okay? Hey, Jameer. Yes, honey, we're the moderators. Come on, Jameer. Hey, Jameer, how are you today? I don't mind Heather holding Lisa accountable. That's fine and well. You can hold somebody accountable, but Heather, in my opinion, I feel like it's disingenuous. She's holding her accountable like she's a concerned friend because she's trying to take her down. Again, I might sound crazy. I might be off base, but just rock with me for this hour and a half, because I promise you I'm going to land the plane and make it all make sense. I've been saying it since the beginning that Heather has had a weird fixation on Miss Lisa, period. All right. Yes, two things are true. I agree. Exactly. Yes, thank you. Lisa games in our face. Heather plays games like we're stupid. Exactly. All right, y'all. Yes, honey, this episode has me seated as well. Yes, let me cook. Let me cook. I promise you. I promise you. I'm going to always bring it back home, honey. Because one thing that Kiarna and Gertie and Dorit can do is land the plane. Honey, I can land the plane. I can get you to see where I'm coming from. Because y'all will tell me, Brooke, I might not see it, but now I kind of see it. Because you made that make sense. Yes, the live just started. We are 5 minutes in, okay? You are right on time. Right on time. Yes, we are ready today. Listen, I'm hyped. I'm hyped because I'm ready. Because Salt Lake City, we tussle in the comments. So I'm letting y'all know right now, I'm ready, honey. Okay, I have my boxing gloves on. I'm joking. All right. Listen. Call me Monique Samuels Jr. No, I'm joking. Monique gonna always get a light straight each and every time, okay? Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Let me stop being so silly. Okay, so we open up the episode with Angie and Heather. They're on FaceTime. They're debriefing what happened the day before at Whitney's luncheon. So Heather's asking Angie how she's doing. Angie says, I don't even know what to say. Heather's like, okay, so what about you and Mary? Where do you guys stand? Are y'all good? So Angie says, well, I did send her a message asking if she would stop by. I hope that she can remember what she loves about me because I don't want to hurt Mary's feelings. She's very sensitive. She does say that she's ready for something that might be a hard conversation with her and Mary. So now Angie says, at one point, it's so funny that I was so close with Lisa. Now I'm closer to Mary than I am with Lisa. So you have Heather saying, no, you have Angie saying, when it comes to Lisa, I feel like I've wasted time and I've shown a side of myself that I don't want to see and nobody else wants to see. Now, I'm going to say it just like this. I am officially over this Angie and Lisa beef. Like, I am tired of it. I feel like we have lost the plot of why they're even arguing. I have some thoughts about Angie that I'll share in a later recap. But Angie, I just feel like I get tired of Angie's theatrics when she argues. And I've said this before, like the constant standing up and the throwing of the things, like it really drives me insane. You know, again, I'm tired. I don't want to hear Lisa screaming and arguing and wailing and whining. I'm tired of her too with all that. And I'm sick and tired of Angie with her antics. Like, again, let's either wrap this beef up or you guys just don't have to speak. Like, nobody's forcing y'all to be friends. Just either be cool or cordial or just don't speak at all, right? So now Angie says that it did make her feel guilty. She said it made her go back in time about things that she said and did. She says she knows that Lisa can hurt us and never cry about it. She's too busy crying about how she looks and what other people think. Angie says that she left the luncheon feeling a lot of guilt for the fact that she could have handled things better. Again, Angie, I feel like, don't blame yourself too much because you and Lisa were both showing out. Y'all were both equally at fault, right? You guys could have both handled things differently because I was so tired of the whole episode being about a stupid argument. So it wasn't just you, it was Lisa as well because Lisa was also grating on my nerves too. So now not Whitney, sorry about that. Angie says that she felt protective of everybody there at Whitney's lunch. She says it's the reoccurring takedowns from Lisa. And now you have Heather saying, I don't need Lisa to be perfect or good, but I need her to listen to me and just acknowledge something so that way she knows that it's a two-way street. One thing about Heather that I don't like, Heather speaks from this standpoint of like, she's God, like the constant, I don't need you to be perfect, but I just need you to understand. It's like, girl, who are you? And I feel like Heather is very sanctimonious and very self-righteous, this fake pious act, and I'm sick of it. Also, Heather, if you want to talk about bad behavior, well, let's address you. Because, girl, I'm still not over the way you treat Bronwyn. Every time Bronwyn is around you, you twist her words up. She could say, I like French toast, and you're like, oh, so you don't like people who like waffles. Like, she always finds a way to get on Bronwyn. So before you want to sit up here and address Lisa and Angie about their stuff, let's address why you always have an issue with Bronwyn for no reason. You get what I'm saying? I can't take it with Heather acting like she's so above it all and she's here to mediate and bring peace when she's actually not. She's just as messy as everybody else. She's just as nasty when she wants to be. So, a girl, this whole fake, nice, and I'm just this, former Mormon girl who's just so good and pious and holy. Like, just stop it. I'm sick of it. Yes, very hypocritical. I'm so tired of it. So now, she does say that in her heart of hearts, she believes that Lisa is capable of admitting that she's wrong, but she's never seen Lisa do that. Again, Heather, I just find it funny that you've taken on this role of you're the goody in the group. I'm sick of it. The act has worn thin for me for quite some time. So now you have Heather saying that she was sad when Lisa left the lunch early because she missed when Heather announced their trip. So now we see the flashback. Heather has arranged with Below Deck Mediterranean. You know how Below Deck on Bravo? She's arranged with Captain Jason to go on their super yacht, and they're going to, where did she say they're going? They're going to, I don't know if I'm saying it right. They're going to Canoan. Did I say that right? I feel like I butchered that entire name, but they're going to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They're all excited. They're going to be there for a few days. And she does say that she did call Lisa and told her about the trip later on, and that all 8 of them are going. So that's going to be fun. So now we cut to Bronwyn and Todd. Sorry, guys. My voice is always giving out at the wrong time. Okay, we're good. Back. Okay, so we now cut to Bronwyn and Todd. They're out for ice cream. And I'm not even going to hold y'all. This scene was so painful to watch. This scene, I had to pull Todd up on the screen. This was so painful to watch. Todd looks like he could care less. Even when they were ordering the ice cream, he was so dull because she was like, oh, I'm ordering the sundae. And she was like, what do you want? He was like, oh, I'll have the raspberry cookie swirl. He wasn't even excited for the ice cream. So now they get their ice cream. Bronwyn has a sundae with a maraschino cherry. She says that the cherries are her favorite part. Now, Bronwyn girl, you and I are right here about that because I could eat a whole jar of maraschino cherries. Like those are chef's kiss. Like if I get like a drink with a maraschino cherry, I'll always ask for at least 3 because 1 is not enough, right? When I was a kid, I would eat a whole jar. Like I was addicted to those cherries, right? So she says, you know how mad I get when I have a dessert and you take the cherry off because that's my favorite part. So Todd is so dry about that. So now Bronwyn's like, okay, Todd, how was your trip to New York? He says it was good. Bronwyn's like, okay, so did you see your mom and dad when you were there? He says, yeah, they're good. I said, my God, it's like pulling teeth for this man to engage in conversation with his wife. Like, I couldn't do this. It's no shame. I'm trying to be fair, but their scenes are still quite painful. It's a mess, honey. I couldn't do this. Todd could you look any more just over it? I said, my God. And the way she talks to him, it feels as if she's talking to her father and not her husband. So it was funny because he does eat her cherry. I know that really kind of sounded spicy, but he does eat her maraschino cherry. So Bronwyn's like, we just talked about this 30 seconds ago. I hate when you do that. I just say, yeah, girl, God bless you and Todd, because he doesn't listen. Now he's eating the cherry off the sundae. Yeah, I would be pissed about that too. I was like, yeah, it was very awkward. The disrespect. Yeah, no, no, I'm serious though. It felt disrespectful to me. And then this part really had me gagged when he just looked at her. He was eating the ice cream with the spoon in his mouth, like after she addressed him about eating her cherry. Oh my gosh, this had me hollering right here. So now Bronwyn says that she sent him a selfie. She says, did you get the selfie that I sent you? It was my outfit of what I wore to Whitney's luncheon. He says no. So Bronwyn's like, well, you would be so proud of me. And he's like, why? And I just said, Bronwyn, again, why do you speak to this man like he's your father? Why are you going to say, you'd be so proud of me? It really shows how her upbringing really shaped how she acts in her marriage, because she always wants approval. For you to ask your husband, would you'd be proud of me, right? Like, you're proud. It's like, it's just really painful to watch. So anyhow, she says that she did not raise her voice yesterday at the luncheon. She was not a part of the drama or the chaos, and her and Lisa were good. So Todd says, well, that's good. He still looks like he could care less. He's over it. So now Bronwyn was just going on and on and on. Todd is barely listening. And Bronwyn even jokes around about how he doesn't care about the details. He says, not at all. So now Bronwyn's like, do I get a high five at least for not being a part of the drama? He's like, well, congratulations, I guess. And I said again, Bronwyn, it couldn't be me. That just could not be me, because I'll be damned if I'm sitting up here begging my husband for validation. I just said, what kind of marriage is this? Like, let me not say too much for all the married women get mad at me, because they got mad at me when I had my comments about Angela and Charles Oakley, when I gave my 2 cents. So I said, let me just be quiet. But I saw a healthy marriage growing up. So just seeing all this confusion and dysfunction on my screen, I'm just like, I could not deal with that. So now Bronwyn says that Todd is over all these women. She says that in his mind, she can't keep showing up to the circus and being shocked at the clownery. So now Bronwyn says that she did have this moment of wobble when her and Lisa talked last week. She was quick to forgive Lisa and want to be cool with her. And she does stand by her feelings about Lisa. So now she's like, do you feel like I was too quick to neutralize with Lisa? And Todd doesn't answer. I said again, Bronwyn, this need for the constant validation, that's going to be your downfall. You should not be so pressed for whoever is in your life to approve of your decisions. If you want to make up with Lisa, that's okay. Like, you're allowed to change your mind and feel how you want to feel. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's this constant need of approval. Like, my God, you're not going to be happy, because if Todd says that he doesn't like something, now your day is going to be ruined. It's like, you can't live like that. You're in this prison or this hell that you've made up for yourself because you just need people to agree with what you say. Like, I feel bad for her. Yes, she's a glutton for emotional unavailability. I agree. I don't think Todd sees it for Lisa because of Gwen. I get it. No, I understand that too. But I just feel like if Bronwyn knows that, so if she does want to go forward with Lisa, she has to make peace with the fact that Todd is not going to be on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? It's like she has 1 foot in and 1 foot out. She wants to make her own decisions, but then she's so deathly concerned with what Todd or anybody else thinks. Hey, Prajit Dar, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Brooke, you look beautiful as always. Thank you. Loving all the extras being so extra this season. Yes, I'm loving it too. Hey, Ezra, thank you for the super chat. Good morning, Brooke. I hated this scene. Yeah, it was cringe to watch. Todd was working my last good nerve. Hey, Emmy, thank you for the super chat. DB's mom and Bronwyn are representing the Mormon norms. Oh, deadbeat mom. Oh, Brittany. Yes, yes, yes. Child. Yeah, it's a lot of the need for validation. You have Brittany, the deadbeat, begging for male approval, and then you have Bronwyn begging for anybody's approval. Hey, High Vibe. Thank you for the super chat. Bronwyn always tries to earn her husband's respect. Yes, kind of like she is with her mother, taking abuse out of some weird sense of duty. Yes, my exact thoughts. We're right here. I feel the same exact way. So now we have Bronwyn saying that Todd does not need to agree for my opinion to be valid. Then she goes on so now here's where it gets more awkward. Bronwyn tells Todd that Whitney had a psychic at her party and she was excited about the psychic. So he's like, okay, well, what did he tell you? So now Bronwyn says, well, he did start off by talking about my mom and her health. Now I will say, Todd, you ate this one little thing. Todd was like, was this his medical opinion? Like, is he a doctor? I said, now, Todd, you ate that one little thing up. Like, I can't even hold you. I laughed at that part. So now Bronwyn is upset at Todd's, he doesn't believe in any of this. He's just like, I'm over this. This is all foolishness. So now Todd says it's probably a 50-50 guess. And now Bronwyn says, you're really bumming me out with your attitude right now. I'm trying to tell you something that I enjoyed, and then you saying this, it's really upsetting. So then she says, you know how I feel when people misunderstand me. I shouldn't have to feel misunderstood with you too. So now she goes on to add in her confessional that she's very accepting of Todd being less emotional than she is. I said, less emotional? That's an understatement. That man has to say he's less emotional, that's putting it nicely. That's putting it mildly. I'm gonna leave it there. But she goes on to say that she wants to get to the point where she does not have to get upset with him for him to notice her feelings. So now Bronwyn says, look, Todd, it's not like I'm telling you that he gave me the numbers for the lottery and I converted our life savings for a lotto ticket. I'm just telling you something that touched me. So Todd does apologize to her, but you can still feel the tension between them. When it comes to Bronwyn and Todd, all I have to say is God bless. I'm gonna just leave it right there. God bless. But in all seriousness, I really feel like this show has become a hindrance to their marriage because Todd cannot stand being on camera. So now we get to Lisa at home. She's packing for the trip. She goes on to ask John to bring out the suitcases. He brings out 2. So now Lisa brings up how when they went on their yacht trip a few years ago, she brought 9 suitcases. So now John's like, oh, where are you guys going, by the way? So Lisa says, we're going to the Canoan Island. Canoan is by the Galapagos Islands. And I said, baby, y'all do not know geography. Production put the map up on the screen and it is 2,200 miles apart. I said, girl, that's not close at all. So now Lisa's like, there's nothing better than being on a yacht. When you get on that boat, you can say you want a pina colada and one appears magically. She says, I'm sure it's going to be a fun trip, despite us only being there for 3 days, because I'm used to a 7 to 10 day trip. Now, I was surprised to hear that it was only a 3-day trip because they're flying 18 hours. And I'm like, 18 hours for only 3 days? And usually the cast trips are a cute 4 days. So I was like, oh, only 3 days this time? But I guess, child, it's still a nice trip. They're going to have a good time. It is what it is. So now Lisa brings up to John that she saw a psychic at Whitney's party the other day. There's a long pause. John's like, all right, like, you want to tell me what else happened? So Lisa says that the psychic brought up how they're having communication issues right now. John makes a face. And John is about to say something, and Lisa interrupts him. Now, Lisa, I'm not in your marriage. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but just generally speaking, it's a bad habit to interrupt people. And like, I was cringing when you interrupted John. I said, Lisa, that's a part of the communication issues that you're having, because it's like you don't let John speak from what I'm seeing. Yes, I was like, yeah, like, let the man speak. I said the same thing too. Yeah, it's very disrespectful. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was like, my gosh, Lisa, like, can you let him talk? So now Lisa says that it really resonated with her when he said that about their communication issues and them not being on the same page. So John's like, well, how did you feel when he told you that? So Lisa says, well, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, it's true. It's not a specific catalyst for this. It's been going on since we got married. Lisa says that there's blurred lines between their marriage, business, and their family, and how she manages the entire house, plus she works. She goes on to say that she feels taken for granted at times. She's exhausted at times. There are times when she'll call her dad and sit in the car and cry to her dad and not to John. So Lisa, I'm gonna be really honest, right? Lisa, your feelings are valid, but in this moment, it kind of felt like you were playing victim, like, woe is me. I'm always the one who's taken for granted. During this conversation with you cutting John off, I was thinking, girl, do you see where he might be frustrated with you? Like, it's not just you being the victim here. Like, John also has valid concerns and complaints too. And every time you mention the marital issues, it's just giving that, woe is me, and why can't anybody just treat me better, and why is this happening to me, and I'm so frustrated. But you're not really thinking about how your husband might be frustrated too with things that you do. Like, it's not just him pissing you off. I'm sure that you're pissing him off too, but you don't let him speak. I said, and it's not lost on me that at the beginning of this season, in the first episode, or what was that, either episode 1 or 2, when you got into it with Bronwyn, when you guys were at Amy's house, no, episode 2, when you and John were in the car going to Amy's party, and y'all were in that car quiet. You guys are usually, every other season, you guys have been lovey-dovey, but that car scene, that silence was deafening. And I said, I wonder if there's some tension there, because like usually you guys are talking and having a good time, but this car ride seemed different. I just said, okay, girl. But I said, Lisa, if I were you, I would listen to what my husband is saying and try to make some adjustments and not just play this tiny violin for yourself. Just saying. Just saying. Because John looks tired. John looks like you're on his last good nerve, especially throughout this conversation. So now John says, we're not on the same page because you don't want to hear what I have to say. You think that you're always right. I said, ooh. And Lisa was not trying to receive that. So now Lisa says, well, the other day when you said to me, you could listen to me to show me that what I say matters, I think that there's truth in what you say, but I don't think that it's just me. I say certain things and it's checked out, so it's not one-sided. I said, Lisa, girl, if you would just listen, if you just open up your ears and just listen and realize that you're not the victim here. You guys are both at fault. You guys both have your things. If you could just hear him out. Like he's trying to throw out the line and you're not getting it. So now John's like, well, is that a me thing or a you thing? So Lisa says, it's a thing. I don't think that things that I need are always heard. So now we cut to Lisa's confessional where she says that she tells John all the time, treat me like glass. I know I can be a bulldog, but my feelings get hurt too. And he could shatter me. I get that, Lisa. But I think that in this case, I don't think that you're listening to John either. Just from the outside looking in. And there have been other seasons too, though, where you have interrupted him and he's taken it in stride. But I think that right now he's actually fed up. You say you feel for Lisa, but she does not know how to hold space for John's feelings as well. Yes, I think so too. Lisa needs to listen to me, clear daughter, conversation for Funky Dineva really quick. Yes. Yeah, he said she does not listen to him. I felt so bad. Lisa needs to go see the lady. Oh, Lisa seems tired of being the breadwinner and John is tired of her nonsense. Oh, you think she's the breadwinner? Child, that's another can of worms if that's the case. So now Lisa says, we've been together for a long time. Nothing's perfect. And this is where I was like a little bit gagged because John was like, well, everything that you do is perfect. It's just me. I said, oh, and then that face that he made after he said that, I said, oh, I said, John forgot that the cameras were on them and that they were filming this because I said, oh, John, like, I said, oh, you could cut that tension with a knife. Yes, he was very passive aggressive. You said Vita is their shared business. Don't do John Barlow. Okay, let him know, Greg. You said not me defending a man. You know, he low-key ate with that, honey. He dropped the mic. He sure did. So now we have Angie at home. She's preparing a nice spread because Mary's coming over. So we see Mary ring the doorbell. Angie, opens up the door, greets her. She says, "Hi, Mary, how are you?" And Mary walked in with an attitude. Mary was like, "Oh, you decided to open up the door for me because usually you're too busy to open the door for me. I had to let myself in." I said, not you coming into somebody's house with an attitude, because all I know is once you step foot in my home, you better act like you have some sense. Don't come in here with no passive aggressive jabs saying, "Oh, you never get the door for me." Girl, come in, take your shoes off. Here's a glass of champagne or Prosecco or some wine and have some of this food and act like you have some sense, please. Like, I don't know. I did not like Mary's attitude when she came in. I said, "No, ma'am." I would have said, "Girl, I'm going to close this door and I'm going to have you try this again. And in 5 seconds, you better have a smile on your face and say, 'Hello, how are you?'" Okay? Mary was on 10, and this whole, you know I was going to say that too. Mary, I said, "Girl, you come in empty-handed and with an attitude. We can't do that." I said, "We're 0 for 2. You have to, you can only do that if you come in with a bottle of Dom or Veuve, and you still can't do that. But you know what I'm saying? I'll be more willing to let it slide, but you can't come in empty-handed with your long lips and your empty hands, and then also shade me as you walk into my threshold. You can't do that. All right?" Mary, I'm liking you, but in this scene, you really blew me. I said, "Mary, don't do it again." Yes, you said it would have been a nope and a door closed. Exactly. All right. So now they sit down and Mary really was ready to fight. And I didn't like how Angie was trying to put the charcuterie board before them to have something to nosh on while they talk. And Mary's like, you know what? I didn't really come for that. Like, I'm just trying to like talk to you. I said, Mary, can you let it settle? Can you just let's get the pleasantries out the way, have a drink, have some food, and then we can get into the hard stuff. But for you to say, you know what? I didn't really come here to eat. Girl, stop. It's her home. Be respectful. And Mary, I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna get on you because I'm confused at all this energy for a non-issue. This is not that deep for you to be this mad about. Just saying. Angie has a lot more patience than I do because me and Mary probably would have been done after what she pulled at that finale last season when she snapped at Angie on that trip. That's just me though. So now Angie says, I want to start off the conversation. No, Angie says in her confessional that she feels like she's in the principal's office and she's scared. I don't need to be friends with anybody that I have to walk on eggshells with. I'll be damned. Absolutely not. I said, Angie, that's your first problem right there. So now Angie starts off by saying, I'm sorry. I know that you wanted to calm me down. I know you were trying to help me at Whitney's, but it's just hard for me to allow somebody to bully me and not respond back. She goes on to say that this whole thing with Lisa is like a bully on the playground. So Mary says that Angie's becoming the bully. And Angie says, no, I'm not the bully. I'm responding. So Mary says, you get so angry that you can't even focus. You don't even hear people. We're in a sisterhood and I can't even get you to calm down. Then what am I here for? Mary, you were not put on this earth to be the mediator of all the fights and arguments. Just saying. For you to act like, you know, well, what am I here for if you can't calm down? That's nice that you want to play the peacemaker, but that's not your job. That's not your responsibility to calm Angie down. Like, that's your friend and all, but you're not her keeper. You know what I'm saying? So to act like, you know, well, what am I here for? Girl, you're not here for trying to calm Angie down. You know, I don't know. So now she goes on to ask Angie, how are you allowing people to get you that mad to the point where it's affecting our friendship? Now, here's my question. Has production skipped some things that we haven't seen? Because I don't know how this situation at Whitney's would affect their friendship. Like, I'm confused by that. So now she says that you get so caught up in things that are not even important. Like, it's like I don't exist. Then she says that, you know, you launched out at me. I guess she meant to say you lashed out at me. She says, you know, you thought you acted like I was your enemy. So Angie says that I was upset with the whole table. And now Mary cuts in and says, you're supposed to be my sister. Angie says, I am. So Mary says, no, you're not. Find another one. So I'm going to just stop right here. Yes, Mary wants to be the judge and executioner. Yes, like, I can't stand that. I'm like, Mary, you don't have a heaven or a hell to put anybody in. Let me say this. My patience is so low. Mary would have been out of my house quickly had she said, you're not my sister, find another one. You don't have to tell me twice. That conversation would have ended right there. Because first of all, for you to be this angry, you would have thought that Angie cursed you out or put hands on you with the way you're acting. The level of anger does not match the situation at all. This is a level 1 and you're acting like a level 10. You say you're not my sister or I felt betrayed if somebody was sitting up there putting their hands on you, talking behind your back, smearing your name. That's when it's a level 10. But this was such a low hanging fruit situation that you're this mad. And I said, Mary, we need to get these emotions regulated. Your nervous system is obviously out of whack because I'm not understanding why you're this irate. For you to want to cut a good friend off over something so stupid and so trivial. Angie did not even yell at you at Whitney's luncheon. I went back and rewatched the episode a third time. Angie did not yell at you. So for you to be this mad, say, well, I'm cutting you off, you're not my sister, we would have been done. And I'm so tired of people saying, oh, well, Mary has abandonment issues. I understand that. But Effie, we all got pain. We all have issues. I don't like being embarrassed. Like, if I feel like you're trying to embarrass me or humiliate me, like Mary's doing with Angie, we'd be done. So now that's my issue. Now you triggered me. So now what? Where do we go from here? I would have been irate had Mary said that to me in my own home. I'm here to offer peace and hear you out and, be back on track again. And you tell me that in my own home? Like, this is so stupid. Yes, the punishment did not fit the crime. Exactly. It was definitely overdone. It really was. Mary always speaks with finality, and that is troubling. Yes, it's so true. I just said, I was too done. I said, you would really think that Angie cursed her out and spat on her the way she's reacting, because I'm just confused as to what was so bad where you're saying this. So now Angie, I was happy that you found your backbone, sis. I said, come on, find it for me. Angie said, I don't want to be on eggshells with you in this friendship. I said, come on. I said, Angie, let her know one more time. We're not going to do this whole uneven, unbalanced friendship where I have to tiptoe around your feelings, but you just trample over mine. We're not going to play these games over here. I said, Angie, let her know. So Mary says, you're different lately. Angie used to be patient, kind, sweet, easygoing, and cool. But lately she's throwing tantrums and it's a trigger for me. She's going backwards and does not see herself. Mary says that Angie is mean. So now can I be honest with you? I get grossed out easily. So this whole conversation, I had to tune out. I don't even want to repeat the conversation because it's so gross. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Will you be mad if I skip over this? Because I was like, wait, we're talking about gas? Like, you're mad because you feel like Angie made fun of you for having gas last week? That's what you're really mad at? And the whole conversation was so like, yeah, it was just like, I don't know. This conversation was just, all right. Yeah, you said pass on. Yeah, please. Yeah, we'll skip it. It was just so silly. I was like, what kind of conversation is this? It's so dumb. And Mary was really like dwelling on it too. It was like, it would not stop. I said, oh my gosh, Mary, please, enough. So anyhow, Angie says, look, I appreciate you. She reaches for Mary's hand. Mary's like, we're not ready yet. We're not ready. I'm still upset. I said, Mary, you want to hold a grudge over nothing? If you're going to hold a grudge, let it be about something that makes sense. Not because somebody made a joke about you having gas. Like, this is so silly to me. So now, and then for you to say you don't want to hold Angie's hand because you're still upset with her. It's so dumb. So now, Mary says, I don't want to lose you, but you have to understand me too. I pull back in certain situations where I feel disrespect, and I felt that you've reached that place with me more than I can handle. Now, I'm all for not tolerating disrespect, but my God, today, you're telling me that a silly joke about you having gas is that disrespectful? You're that upset? Like, no, I'm so sorry. My parents would always tell me, you have to put things in perspective. Like, everything can't be at a level 10. You know what I'm saying? I understand that everybody's feelings are valid, but some stuff is just so foolish. You're this mad. Like, come on. It was just so foolish. So now Mary says, I don't let people in. I've always been built that way. When I do let you in, you know what you mean to me. She says, I want the best for you. I want you to thrive. Then she starts crying in her confessional. Mary says, when I'm the type, when I have love for you, I have love for you. I really love you. And if you don't love me back, I can turn around and never look back. A silly joke about having gas and what happened at Whitney's luncheon. I'm sorry, that does not equate to somebody not loving you back. I said, Mary, I thought I was dramatic. Baby, I thought I was full of stunts and theatrics, but you might have me beat. Like, you really might have me beat. I said, child, so now she says, I live my life with a guard up because I've been dogged. This does not happen often. I find a friend every 20 years. She says, I love you. I trust you. And now Angie says, I acknowledge that you're in my heart and you're in my mind. You're my person and I'm your person. So now so they give each other a big hug. Mary says, I didn't come here to cry. I came here to tell you off. But then Mary says, deep down, I could not live my life without you, but you got to get it together. So they're good. Angie says, I love you deeply and I will work on myself. So we're back on track. But Miss Mary, I'm gonna need you to stop. I'm gonna need you to stop being so dramatic and wanting to chop somebody's head off over something so trivial and so stupid. Like, I thought I was bad, but come on, like, girl, this is crazy. So Mary's gonna find her next friend when she's in her 70s. I guess so. Her next friend's gonna be when she's 75. Then the next friend will then her fourth friend will be when she's 95. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. You guys are so funny in the chat. Oh, gosh. So now we have Heather and Lisa. We have Heather and Lisa going shopping, right? They're shopping for the trip. I'm gonna just be really upfront with y'all because I believe in transparency. Heather really worked my nerves. Like, she really did. I just feel like you don't like this lady and you're trying to pose as this concerned friend, but you're on some snake weirdo behavior. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me if it seems like I'm going in on Heather, but I'm just tired of Heather. I see right through her. I saw right through the game, season 1, episode 1. I said, this woman has a fixation on Miss Lisa. I called it from day one. Okay. And this scene was irking my spirit. Okay. So y'all, they're shopping and making small talk. Lisa says that she's excited for the trip. She's like, can I make requests? So Heather says, yeah, it depends on your request though. Lisa's like, can I bring glam? Heather says no. We all know that Lisa loves her glam. She has glam in Saint-Tropez, glam in St. Bart's, Paris, London, you name it. So Lisa's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? You're going to have to help me with my makeup then. So Heather makes a joke and says, well, Whitney can help you with your makeup. Lisa's like, you know what? I'll pass on that. And then Heather says, Angie can blow out your hair. Lisa says, that's a hard pass. So now Heather's like, so you don't trust her with your hair? And Lisa says, I don't trust Angie with anything. So Heather says, well, she is going to be on the trip. Lisa says, well, that's nice for Angie because that's going to be her first time on a luxury vacation on a nice boat. I said, now, Lisa, girl, I'm with you when you have some good shade, but we're not going to sit up here and act like Angie is struggling financially. Angie has 3 Black American Express cards. She's good. Okay. She can go on a yacht anytime she wants to. So let's girl, I'm with you and you're right, but we're not going to sit up here and lie like Angie's money is funny because it's not. Okay. So now Heather's like, I'm not going to haze Angie, much like you guys keep hazing each other. And Lisa says that I'm sick of her attacks. I think that she gets a high off of it. So now Heather's like, well, I didn't see that at all because she was crying. So now Lisa's like, wait, why was she crying? Was she crying because she's a mean bitch? So Heather's like, well, if she's a mean bitch, then you're also a mean bitch. And I said, now that's a fair point, Heather. You have that. But Heather, might I add, put yourself on that list too, because the way you treat Bronwyn and the way Heather, this is my issue with Heather. Heather wants to sit up here and act like she's above the mess, but she's the main pot stirrer. Heather will sit up there and twist some stuff up and sit back and watch everybody else fight. Again, Heather does not have me fooled. So watching her try to chastise Lisa when she's the same exact way, I said, no, ma'am. Again, Heather, you act real funny style too. So not too much about they're both mean bitches. Because girl, put your name on that list too, Heather. Put your name on that list too. So now Lisa's like, well, Heather, what did I do wrong then? Angie should not have been nasty about my kid's brand. That was so disgusting to me. She goes lower and lower and lower. Now, Lisa, I got to just tap you on the wrist. That was messed up of Angie to say that thing about, your kid's brand, but don't act like you don't go low either, because you do. She says that she's sick of her nasty digs. And I'm sick of this fight, period. Like, I'm over this entire argument with you and Angie. It's got to stop. Like, just don't talk to each other, because you guys are going around and around the mulberry bush, beating a dead horse at this point. I forgot why we're even arguing in the first place. But if I do want to say this one thing, though, I think that we are overlooking the fact that Angie did low-key start things up this season by even saying that Lisa was like Jen Shah about her lawsuits. So I do feel like Angie started this whole thing by opening her mouth and throwing shade in episode 1. But Lisa has been going back and forth, and I'm just sick of the both of them. Like, yes, it's very tired. It's very tired. Okay, yeah, y'all, we're all on the same page. So now, I got my entire life in this scene, though, because that sales lady was staring at them. The way Lisa was just cursing, and she was staring at Lisa like, oh my gosh, like my goodness, like my Mormon ears, I can't handle this. But I live when they have the waiters or the waitresses or the salespeople in the midst of all the mess. So now Lisa says, I did not dig at her. Heather says, are you kidding me? So Lisa's like, well, how did I go low? So Heather says, girl, the suit man, like, did you forget about that? Like, who is a suit man? So Lisa says, well, Angie accused me of cheating on my husband. So I said, why don't you worry about your suit man? So now Heather says, wait, is it suit man or suit man? And Lisa says, suit man, like a suit that you wear. So now Heather says, oh, we all thought that you meant soup man, like from a soup kitchen. This whole thing about suit or soup is so stupid. So now, Heather says that learning that it's a suit man, not a soup man, he sounds hotter. I said again, this is just so dumb. Heather goes on to say that there's a reason why nobody in the group rides hard for you. Everybody at the table has a history with you. They've all been burned by you. Now, Heather, I do want to I want to stop you right here. Where was this energy for Jen Shah? Jen Shah used to curse you out every which way in those first 3 seasons. Jen Shah punched you in the eye and had you so afraid that you lied for her. You were sitting up there going to bat for a criminal and somebody who was violent with you. So for you to say that, Lisa has gone at it with everybody in the group, and if Lisa makes it so hard for you to ride for, baby, you rolled for somebody who punched you in the eye. She had you up there lying at the reunion saying that you banged your eye on the faucet. So baby, not too much about how nobody has Lisa's back and Lisa makes it hard for people, because Jen Shah was on that show raising all sorts of hell with everybody. I just, again, Lisa has her faults. I'm not denying that. But don't sit up here and act like Lisa has been worse than other people on this show that you rode for really hard. Like, again, yes, Heather has no gauge on friendship. Exactly. I was so annoyed. I said, Heather, don't do that. I said, don't do that. I told y'all one thing about me when it comes to Miss Heather, I'm going to always land that plane. I don't see it for Heather. I'm tired of Heather's nonsense with this whole thing with her and Lisa. For her, she says that they've all been burned by Lisa. And yes, Lisa has done her petty things, but they've all done their petty things. And nobody has done worse than Jen Shah, in my humble opinion. Again, there's just no way that somebody could punch me in my eye and I'm sitting up there saying that somebody else who's done less is more harmful than a person who's violent and a criminal and a thief and a liar and a fraud. Just my 2 cents. So now you have Lisa crying. She says, well, maybe I shouldn't go on the trip then. And Heather's like, I'm not trying to get you upset, but you can't expect me to let you diss her and say she does all these horrible things to you, but you do it too. So now Lisa says, look, tell her to stop talking about me and I won't talk about her then. Don't count my money and I won't count hers. It's not that hard to count. I could count her money easily. Lisa, Miss Mamas, like I just said, Angie has 3 Black American Expresses. I think she's just fine. I think that Angie's money is quite long. I'm just saying. Like, again, I'm just, these money reads, just make sure that, make sure that what you're saying makes sense when you want to read about money. So now Lisa, Heather says, see that there you are being low. So Lisa says, well, why can she start it and nobody else can say it back to her? The nerve of Heather to say this right now. Heather, are you blind and deaf? Clearly, you don't see all the times that everybody has come for me nonstop. And it actually started with you 5 years ago. She goes on to say that it's BS. Then she says that Angie's called her the C word. Heather says, I'm not saying this to hurt you, but you're a risky friend. Lisa says, I don't feel that I am. I'm tired of being labeled that way. I don't want to win. I'm just done. Listen, is Lisa an easy friend to deal with? I'm sure she's not. Because Lisa does have a problem taking ownership at times. But I'm sorry, girl. Heather, you got punched in the eye by Jen and you lied for her. So if we want to talk about risky friends, and then again, like I told you guys in the beginning, I don't think that Heather is saying this out of concern for Lisa. I think that she's saying this to Lisa to tear her down. And because she wants to really she has it out for Lisa. It's a gut feeling. I have always felt like there is some jealousy in the room when it comes to Miss Heather in regards to Lisa, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Yeah, she's a walking hypocrite. Yes, she wants to bring her down a peg. And that's my exact point. Again, y'all, I'm not saying that Lisa is without fault. All I'm saying is when it comes to Heather, Heather's intentions are phony. This is not a concerned friend. This is somebody who's been plotting on how to take who she feels is the cool girl down a peg. That's it. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Just hear me out. I saw people talking about why did Lisa have all that cash on her? I didn't find that to be alarming. It's good to have some cash on you, especially in these times. It's good to have some cash on you, Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. No alarm bells rang in my head seeing her with a wad of cash, but that's just me. Right message, wrong messenger. Heather is a mean girl. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Heather is a mean girl through and through. So that's why this whole message is not landing when it comes to what she's telling Lisa. Yes, you better keep some cash. No, it's true. Hey, Amit, thank you for the super chat. Girl, Angie don't want Jesus coming for her. I mean, listen, I think that Mary, the way Mary navigates in this friendship with Angie, I'm not loving it. I think that Mary was doing too much, in my opinion. And I don't like how Angie feels scared to open up and say how she feels because she's walking on eggshells with her friend. Yes, yeah, listen, same here. Cash is king. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that I feel the same way as you. So yeah, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any way about Lisa with the cash. I said, yes, girl, exactly. So now I could not wait. This was the scene that had me screaming, y'all. I could not wait to discuss this with y'all. I said, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. Britani is going to be you and I once again. Honey, this scene with Britani and her daughter meeting up for coffee. I said, Olivia, Miss Mamas, go on ahead and get your money. I said, yes, honey. Olivia said, honey, she was mic'd up, ready to go. I said, I know she had Bravo cut her a nasty check. Oh, Olivia got paid a nice coin for this scene. I said, I'm here for it. Yes, honey. Olivia, get your baddie chain. Exactly. Olivia said, baby, I'm going to get paid for my pain. So, y'all, so they're at the coffee shop. It's already awkward. I had like a gut punch when Britani asked if she could hug her daughter. I was just like, wait, what do you mean you have to ask to hug your child? That's your baby. Like, Britani, girl, this is so wild that you are sharing to the world that you are a deadbeat. I said, my God. So they have an awkward hug. I said, this is a mess. You could feel the tension. And they gave Britani and her daughter a nice 7-minute scene. I said, okay. I said, oh, they are working for their money. So Britani says that her reading with Terrence at Whitney's party was prophetic. Now, I don't know why you need a psychic or anybody to tell you to not be a deadbeat parent, but that's just me. I thought that went without saying, but apparently not. So Britani says that it made her realize that she needs to take a step back from her romantic relationships to focus on what's really important, which is her daughter. And the reading gave her the courage to do that. Again, the fact that you need a psychic reading to realize that you need to put your kids first is wild to me, but okay. So now Britani it's really awkward, right? Britani's trying to make jokes about when Olivia was a little girl and she would get her coffee. Olivia's not here for it. She's like, okay, girl, what do you want? Why are we here? Like, why did you call me up? Like, I'm not trying to reminisce about the good old days. Like, why are we here? So Britani says in her confessional that when she got divorced from her daughter's father, she desperately tried to create this perfect family again. So she got remarried. She got married again. And in her second marriage, she was constantly in this tug of war between her husband and her children. She says that she thought she would finally get to her kids when she's a good enough wife. I said, girl, what? It sounds like this second husband was a horrible stepfather and was not trying to be a part of your daughter's lives. Because the fact that you had to choose between your husband and your girls in the second marriage, I said, come again. So now Britani goes on to say that eventually her kids got tired of it. They moved in with their dad and she failed miserably. So now Britani says, Olivia, thank you for meeting with me. Olivia said, baby, enough with the small talk. Let's just hop right on into it. Do you remember the last time we met up? Britani says, actually, no, I don't. So Olivia says, well, the last time we met up, I had a 30-minute break between my jobs, and I came over to your house to see you, spend some time with you. And Jared came at the same time, and you guys started making out in front of me like I wasn't even there. Like we didn't even talk. You guys were just tugging each other down, and I was just watching you guys do that. I said, Britani, for you to sit up there and act like your daughter was invisible, all because your boyfriend situationship is there, is crazy. You should feel so embarrassed. And your daughter, the fact that your daughter only had 30 minutes to even spend time with you, like you're lucky that your daughter did not hit you guys upside the head with a bottle, because what do we do? Are you serious right now? I can see a little kiss and then, okay, me and my daughter are gonna hang out, but like you guys are really sucking face in front of your daughter for the whole time that she was there. You don't even come up for air, and she has to go back to her job, didn't even get to talk to you or say hello. And Jared, what kind of loser are you? You have kids, you have children. Like you're a dad, you know better. Why would you do that? You don't care about Britani's kids at all. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all are both crazy. Like that is so wild to me. Like, Jared, you really don't care about the kids, because why would you do that? I felt so bad for her. I like, my heart broke. So now Britani's like, I'm so sorry about that. Now I'm going to say this, Britani. Every time you apologize, I did not hear the remorse in your voice. I did not hear the sadness. You're trying to squeeze out tears. They're not coming out. You just sounded so robotic. Like, at no point did I hear like, wow, she really is sorry. It was like, I'm so sorry, honey. Like, you're reading off of a script. Like, are you okay? It's like, girl, what's not clicking? So now Olivia says, I want you to want to get to know me over anybody, especially over somebody that you're dating, not dating, who knows? I said, whack her again. So now Britani's like, honey, I know. I don't even know why that happened. I've just been in the habit of choosing men for so long because my kids don't even see me. Britani, I wanted to jump through that TV and yank you up. That's how pissed I was. I said, don't you dare flip the script and try to blame your daughters for why they don't speak to you. And Olivia gave it to you good. I said, Olivia, come through. Olivia said, Mom, don't even try it. Don't you dare. That's not my issue. That's your issue. It's your fault why we don't speak to you. I said, come on. I said, Olivia, come through. Baby, I was sitting up there screaming in my living room like, girl, get her again. I said, absolutely not. How dare you try to blame your daughters like they're at fault? No, baby, you're at fault. You're the mother. You're choosing dick that don't want you over your daughters. I was irate. Honey, Olivia kept getting her. I said, Olivia, honey, I have your back. I said, tag me in the game, honey. I will come in there and get Britani for you too. Like, this was so wild to me. She was like, you can't talk about how sad you are that we don't see you because you started this whole entire thing. So now Britani says, I'm trying to get to know you. And now we cut to Olivia's confessional. Olivia says that her mom, once upon a time, was actually a good mom. She was present for every field trip, every dance recital, every talent show. She was there. She was so much fun. She was a great mom. She says, I was 12 years old when my mom got remarried, and it was like somebody flipped a switch in her brain and turned that person off completely. She says to go from, I love my mom, to begging for her attention was so hard because I know that she can be a loving mother. I know it's in her. So Olivia says to Britani, it's important for you to realize and take accountability that I wanted a mom. What kid says, I don't want my mom? Like, do you think I want to talk to my dad about periods and all that stuff? Like, no, but I have no choice because you're not there. I said, get her again. So now Brittany says, wow, this is so sad. And I said, Brittany, I don't hear the sadness in your voice. Is the sadness in the room with us? I was waiting for Brittany to just like break down in tears, lashes off. Like I was waiting for her to have the realization of how much she has hurt her kids. And it just never came. I just felt like Brittany was only saying, I'm sorry, and this is so sad because she knew that she had to say that. But I didn't feel that. I didn't feel any contrition. I didn't feel any remorse. It just felt like, yeah, like I'm so sad. But like there's no sadness there. Y'all, I was too through. So now Brittany says, I don't know how to make it better. I can't go back. Olivia says, I know you can't go back. I said, Olivia was eating her up. I said, come through. I said, Olivia, come through, honey, come through. I was here for all of it. So now Olivia says, if I were in your shoes, I would never do that. So why did you? Olivia was not letting her foot up off Brittany's neck. And I stood up and applauded. I said, Olivia, thank you. Thank you for not holding back. I said, listen, I just, for Brittany to sit up here and try to seek sympathy for being a deadbeat mother is beyond me. So now Olivia says, I think that it's important for you to figure out why you prioritize men over me. I need you to figure that out quickly so that way it does not keep happening. So now Olivia starts crying and my heart broke. My heart broke when she started crying. She says, all this time I felt like I was the issue. So Brittany's like, of course it wasn't you. You're my precious baby. Brittany, I'm gonna need you to put some more feeling in your voice when you say that because that just fell flat. It just feels like Brittany has no emotion. I'm just like, Brittany, are you okay? Like, are you all right? Because you should be more emotional than this. So Olivia says, yeah, I'm your precious baby that you know nothing about. So now Brittany says, I'd love to get to know you if you would just let me. And Olivia says, I don't want to get hurt again. Now, if Olivia never wants to speak to Brittany again, I won't feel any way about that. I think that Brittany is doing a piss poor job showing that she loves her daughters. And the fact that Brittany is still with Jared present day, that's alarming. And I didn't see a mom who wanted to take ownership. I saw a mom who wants Olivia to forget about what she's done and just get over it. I don't know. It's very sad. It's very sad. Yes, Brittany has more emotion when she defends Jared. Exactly. She'll go to war for Jared, but like she's flat when it comes to her daughters. A mess. Oh, I missed a few super chats. Let me read the super chats, y'all. Hey, Ezra, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to scoot on over, Brooke. Yes. Hey, Osmond Chagall, thank you for the super chat. I know the comments were dragging Deadbeat up and down the street like they were dragging Muzzy after this episode aired. Oh, yeah, you know it. Because they've been dragging Brittany since, episode 4 or 5, when she said that she doesn't know how to put her daughters before men. They've been calling her deadbeats on her Instagram page. So you know that they were calling her deadbeats after this episode aired. I'm going to go check her Instagram when I get off of here too. But yeah, a mess. Hey, Florence, thank you for the super chat. I can no longer see her as the thirsty comedic relief that production pretends she is. Yes. Why are you getting to know your own child or a situationship? Listen to me. I need for Britani to get her house in order because we are having conversations like this at a coffee shop, but yet you're showing more emotion and care for a man who does not want you. That's a problem. And it's going to be a real rough go for Britani at this reunion because of this nonsense. I just this is crazy. Like, I can't view her in the same light either. I used to think that she was so funny, but now I'm like, yeah, Britani, this isn't funny. This is sad. Hey, Robert, thank you for the super chat. Britani is pathetic. I care more about my nephew than she does her daughter. Keep chasing unavailable men. It looks amazing on you. Listen, like, I just could not imagine. I could not imagine having a child and doing this. Like, I can't understand how you bring life into this world and you don't treat your kids right. Like, I don't get that. I will never understand that. I will, like, never in a million years. And this woman is so bold to be like, yeah, I choose dick over my kids. And she's almost proud of it, which is more jarring. Hey, Robert, thank you for the super chat. I pray for healing for Bronwyn. My husband made me cry on camera. The next episode will be our divorce. I pray for healing, honey. Listen, I have my thoughts about Bronwyn and Todd. I'm gonna keep them to myself. You guys know how I feel about their marriage. I'm gonna just keep it to myself, and I'm gonna leave it in the Lord's hands. Britani's ex-husband did a number on her. Now she's a deadbeat mother. Child. Oh, you said if Olivia and Jared were in front of a moving train, she would save Jared. That's actually really sad because I think that's true. I think that she actually would do that because she really goes hard for Jared. I don't understand people that chose to be parents. Parenthood is not mandatory. Exactly. If Britani knew she could not prioritize her children, she shouldn't have had them. Yes, I agree. Child. No, she's just desperate. This is desperation because you have, whether that man is putting it down or not, this is desperate behavior because there should be no piece of sex that means that much to you, or you will put that over your child. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. There is not enough good penis in the world that should have you doing anything of the sort. In my humble opinion, this is pure desperation because I get the impression that even if the sex were bad, she would still be chasing after him like this. Yes, she wants to be an Osmond so bad. She does. There is not enough in the world. Yes, the sad part is Britani does not fully see she's doing anything 100% wrong. Yeah, that she doesn't. Because it's still not clicking to her of why her daughters are mad at her. When she tried to turn it around on Olivia and say, well, you guys don't see me, that showed me right there that she's still not getting it. It's still not clicking in her pea brain. It's just very sad. Like, I was irate, but I also got my life watching Olivia get on Britani. I said, thank the Lord. And that's how I wish that Bronwyn would get on her mom. Like, no, we're not doing this. I was so here for Olivia letting Britani know we're not going to play these games. We're not going to play these games. Don't bring that over here. And all I have to say is, Olivia, thank you for sharing your story and your vulnerability. And thank you for getting your mother together on camera because that's what needed to happen. And whether or not you do want to forge a relationship with her or you don't, that's up to you. That's your choice. Whatever choice you decide, that's your right. And don't let anybody make you feel guilty or bad for not wanting to speak to Britani, because what she's doing, what she's done is so shameful. Yes, Olivia is so courageous. Exactly. She really is. She very brave to tell her story, and you know that Bravo paid her for her paid. Yes, Olivia showed all the situation's context. Yes, because you know that Britani would try to hide it, but Olivia said, "No, babe, let's lay it all out on the table." I'm glad Olivia finally told her something because someone really needed to say it. Yes. I hope Britani gets the help she needs, and I wish her kids the best. Yes. Olivia said, "Not my fault." Exactly. I said, let her know. Let him know, Greg. I know, only 19 going through all this. Maybe Britani has some trauma involving her kids that prevents her from truly being a loving mother to them. The only reason why I don't believe that is because her daughter did say that before she got remarried again, her mom was a great mother. And it wasn't until that second marriage that really rewired her brain and turned something around. Olivia is the younger daughter. Her oldest daughter is 23. A mess. But Olivia, God bless you. I was here for you getting your mother all the way together, because her parading around that she's a deadbeat mother, like it's okay. I'm glad you said, "No, ma'am, we won't be doing that around here." I was here for it. So now we meet up with Meredith and Heather. They're going for a walk. We see that Meredith actually drove there. We know that Meredith hates driving, right? She's either driven by her kids, Seth, or a driver. So now Meredith says that it's been a rough 24 hours after Whitney's luncheon. She felt herself getting a sore throat. So she bought like a cold ease, like that little chewy medicine, like a cough drop. She says before she even chewed it, she chipped her tooth. So then she says that after that, she was taking a shower, and she kicked her pinky toe on the side of the shower, and now her toe is purple. That is the worst feeling, when you stub your toe. So you know she's in pain. Now, I love how Meredith said, "Despite having a messed up toe, I'ma still wear these heels." I said, "Yes, girl, you and I see you." So she's like, "It's actually easier because my legs are conditioned to walk in heels." Wait, was it a bath? Yes, you're right. I think it was a bath. It was, yeah, she said it was either the bathtub or a shower, but she banged her toe. Yeah, she said, "Honey, I might be in pain, but I look good." I said, "I know that's right." So now as they're walking, they bring up Whitney's lunch, and Heather says, "By the way, I went shopping with Lisa the other day." Part of me felt like I wasn't getting through to Lisa, but I love Lisa, and I love our friendship, and I want to defend her, but I also don't want to be a fool. Anytime you have to keep saying, "I like this person, but I don't want to be a fool," or whatever, you're setting yourself up to have an issue with that person, in my opinion. For the last 5 or 6 episodes, Heather keeps saying the same thing about, "I like Lisa, but it would be a shame if our friendship ended because of X, Y, and Z." It's like, girl, you clearly want there to be an issue. It's clear that you really want an issue with her, because why do you keep saying that? Like, you're almost praying that something bad happens to and comes in between you and Lisa. It's just weird. So now, where were we? So then she says, "I wasn't her friend." She said, "I wasn't her friend for 4 years, but we're developing our friendship now." And it's my first time seeing how she pulls you in and slings the mud. I said, now, it's your first time, really, Heather? Because I could have sworn throughout the years when you and her were on the outs, you always accused Lisa of slinging mud and going low. So for you, like, Heather, I'm not going to play with you today. Heather, you might fool everybody else, but you don't fool me. I'm just, Heather is working my last nerve, y'all. She really is. Heather says, I used to think that she was so fearless, but if she were so fearless, she would say this all to our faces and not drop them in other people's buckets. Heather says, Lisa has a very specific move, and it's to dig up dirt on people, dig up their skeletons. She's done it with Meredith, Whitney, and now she's doing it with Angie. And I don't know why she keeps doing it. And it made me think, and now here's my thing with this, right? If you feel like Lisa digs dirt up on people, then why were you so pressed to be her friend for all this time? That's why I feel like Heather is so full of you know what, because you're not making any sense. On one hand, you think that Lisa is this mudslinger. She goes around plotting on people, planning stories, but yet you also want to be her close friend, her best friend. But she's this horrible person who does things in the dark. Okay. Yeah, okay, wait, hold on. I think Heather is performing. Deep down, she does not like Lisa. I agree. She wants to convince the audience that she wants the friendship. Yes, I'm going to say this one more time. Heather is extremely jealous of Lisa. Jealousy is a mix of love and hate. She is so fixated on this woman. She wants to be her, but she wants to take her down in the same breath. This is all this is. I don't want to go around and around the mulberry bush, but I'm just going to keep saying it until the wheels fall off. Heather is so jealous of this woman, and she wants to pretend like she likes her, but deep down, she is out to destroy Lisa. Y'all, I know some of y'all think that I am good and crazy, but I promise y'all, that's what this is. Yes, Heather is very fake. Very fake. So now she's like, Meredith, I'm just asking you, I just have to know, why did you let Lisa off the hook at Whitney's party? My thing is, Heather, who are you to question Meredith? Meredith is a grown woman. And let's not forget that Meredith and Lisa were best friends for 10 years prior to the show. So there's history there. If Meredith wants to make up and forgive Lisa, that's her right. Why do you care so much? So now Meredith says, well, the thing is, when Lisa and I had our falling out a few years ago, she apologized to me profusely for years. So Heather says, well, you know why she did that? Because she was caught red-handed. She couldn't deflect. She couldn't avoid it. She couldn't bob and weave. And I felt like at Whitney's luncheon, she was caught, and I was shocked that she did not own it. Hold on. Let me just go back to my main question. You claim that you really love Lisa and you guys are best friends, but you're low-key calling her a liar and saying how she was caught red-handed and this and that. Is that how you speak about your friends? Because I'm being honest. I'm being honest with y'all. If I consider you a good friend or just a friend in general, I'm not talking badly about you. I'm not looking for the worst in you. The fact that Heather is so hell-bent on making Lisa seem like a horrible person, baby, you don't like this lady. You don't like this lady, because why are you so pressed? Like, yeah, girl, she's so fake, and she did this, and that, and she does that, and she was caught red-handed. That's how you speak about your friend? Really? I said, okay. Yes, she is absolutely trying to isolate Lisa. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. like I said, hear me out. Two things can be true. Lisa has her faults. You can think that she's a horrible person. I'm not mad at you thinking that. That's right. But hear me out. Two things can be true at the same time. Lisa can be however you feel about her, but Heather is also devious and plotting on this lady's downfall. Right? And listen, right? Am I crazy? Am I, like, let me know. Like, two things can be true here. Yes, I'm not saying that Lisa is a victim. Lisa has done her dirt. She has ran her mouth. She has done her things. But we will not sit up here and act like Heather is not trying to take this lady out. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Yes, it's giving obsession. It really is. Okay? Right? Like, I know I'm not off base here. Child. So now, and I don't like how Heather is trying to get in between Meredith and Lisa's friendship. Why are you so bothered if they're friends? Why do you care so much? And I love how Meredith was getting you together swiftly. She was just like, girl, like, what does this have to do with me? Like, Meredith was not falling for the bait. I loved it. So now Meredith goes on to say, here's my thing. If somebody shows you who they are, deal with them accordingly. But what if she didn't do it? So Heather says, Meredith, she did it. It tracks. Like, we all know her track record. I said, wait. Hold on. This is your new best friend, and you're already accusing her of planting dirt? I don't want anybody who claims that they're my friend to believe the worst, that I would do something horrible. Like, just saying, I feel like a friendship is you believe the best about me. The fact that Heather is so quick to believe the worst, but that's your friend? That's not weird? I said, okay, girl. I said, all right. I said, okay. I said, Heather needs to go see the lady immediately. So now Meredith says, well, look, Heather, from my standpoint, I don't have a great track record with Angie either. So I'm going to give Lisa the benefit of the doubt unless I hear otherwise. And since when is Angie's word the gospel truth? I said, I know that's right, Meredith. Meredith, baby, when Meredith was absolutely correct when she said, what about when Angie said to you, season 3, that you and Jen were in the room doing Barbie scissor kicks together? Is that the truth? Since you believe whatever Angie says now? I said, exactly. So yeah, Heather, if you believe whatever Angie says, so then we're all to assume that you and Jen were over there giving us a Brazzers moment in that room before she punched you in the eye in season 3 then, because that's what Angie said. So since we believe whatever Angie says, then what Angie says is the gospel truth. Then we're all going to believe now that that's actually what happened before she punched you out. I was here for Meredith. I said, oh, Meredith. I like Meredith. I've always liked Meredith a lot, always. So Heather says, I don't want to be a friend to somebody where I have to keep her at arm's length or watch my back. I said, baby, Lisa needs to be arm's length with you because girl, you get weirdo behavior, please. And the fact that you want to believe the worst about your friend, that's just really crazy to me. So now she says, I don't want to have to wonder if she's digging up dirt on me. And then Meredith says, well, let's be clear. Nobody should be digging up dirt on their friends. So Heather says, I believe that Lisa has done that. She's done it to you. And I think it's ridiculous that Meredith is like, we have to overlook this. Heather, you really, I mean, there are so many Heathers in this world who are obsessed with you, want to be your friend, only to destroy you. Like, listen, if you don't take anything out of my recaps, just promise me, this is real life advice. Promise me that you will not befriend somebody who seems obsessed with you. I'm so serious, because there's always something behind that. Heather is a clear example of why you do not befriend somebody who was obsessed with you from the start. Because now look at this, talk about, oh yeah, she did that, she's done this. I believe Angie. Girl, this is wild. This is really wild. Heather, this is real crazy work, Heather. You should feel ashamed of yourself. So now Heather says, we're all effed up. I just want us all to acknowledge when we're effed up. We're all able to say sorry. And I want Lisa to say sorry about things that she's done too. Meredith was not going for it. I said, thank you, Meredith. You have some sense, unlike Heather. So now we get to the next scene. We see Whitney at home, and she has Angie and Mary over. And so Whitney said, they're talking about the trip. So for yachts, they give you a preference sheet beforehand, and you fill it out. So you can fill it out, like if you want a specific snack or food, or they'll have it for you, right? So Whitney says that she's super excited about the trip. She can't wait to be on a super yacht. We all got to fill out our preference sheets. It's next level bougie. Then she says the bougiest one out of all of us didn't fill out her sheet yet. So we know that the bougiest one is Mary. So we see Angie help Mary fill out her preference sheet. Now, Mary, you can't fill out your own sheet. Why is Angie filling out your sheet like she's your mother? I just say, I don't know. I mean, their friendship is cute. I'm all for helping a friend out. But like, my God, Mary really wants to be babied in this friendship. And like, I don't mind babying you sometimes, but it's just like, okay, you got to help yourself out at some point, But yeah, I said, Mary is the pickiest person out of all of them. So why is she not filling out her preference sheet? It was just so silly to me. Yes, Mary's very needy. Yes, I don't mind. I'm a very affectionate friend, so I'll baby you. I don't, it's all fun and games. I don't mind, but it does get to a point. Yes, I felt the same way. I'm sorry, this was not a good look on Mary's part. She's treating Angie like her help. Yeah, I don't like that. Like Angie's her assistant or something. I would have said, Mary, fill out your own sheet. It's ridiculous. Y'all reading into stuff too deep. My God, I'm not reading into anything too deeply. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm giving my opinion. My God. I'm not going to lie to you about how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel like if they can all fill out their sheets, Mary can fill out her sheet too. So now we have Mary. They're asking Mary, what does she want? So Mary kept saying that she wants a bottle of Dom Perignon 2003. We all know she loves her champagne. Okay. Thank you, Jameer. I appreciate you. Thank you. Like, we are not doing that today. We are not doing that today. And you saw I was nice with the reaction too, because my response could have been a lot harsher. I was like, do I want to be nasty or do I want to just, be kind of cute with it? But you know what I'm saying? I get the feeling that Mary's a needy person. Oh, somewhat stunted from when she was younger. Yes, I could see that. I could see that. Um, so where are we? Where are we? So she says that she wants blueberries, Egyptian cotton sheets, um, Dom Perignon 5 more times. And then she says that she loves being on yachts because she likes being rocked to sleep on a boat. And then she says that because she was never rocked to sleep as a kid, she gets it from the boat. So now we have Angie asking if Mary prefers coffee or tea. Mary says tea always. And now Angie says, well, speaking of tea, have you seen what's been floating around the internet about Bronwyn? So they ask Mary if she's seen the tea. Whitney says it's allegations of identity theft, fraud, all this stuff. Whitney says, I was gagged when I read the headlines. And now Angie goes on to ask if anybody has talked to Bronwyn. So Whitney says, I haven't heard from her. And now we cut to the last scene with Bronwyn and Todd meeting up at a lounge, and they are talking about what has gone down. Now, Todd was already at the bar. So when Bronwyn came in, he had her drink ready for her. He actually was affectionate for the first time. He was like, hi, sweetheart, I have your drink for you. Gave her a kiss. I said, oh, it's Christmas morning because this is the first time I've ever seen Todd affectionate and loving. I said, well, I'll be. I said, well, I'll be. Who knew that Todd could actually be affectionate? So now Bronwyn's like, what are we going to do? These ridiculous headlines. First off, there are two separate things happening. Mistakes that I made during college over 20 years ago. One was about an eviction notice after she left BYU. She had to pay it later. Then she says, these other crimes that they're talking about, alleged identity theft and fraud that's allegedly happened within the last few years. She says what actually happened was 10 years ago, nothing recent. A case that's been dismissed and now it's sealed. I legally can't talk about my involvement in that. So I said, well, can you give us a hint? Like, girl, what? I said, wait, a case that's sealed and you can't talk about your involvement? All sorts of things are running through my mind. I have a very vivid imagination. So I said, Lord have mercy, Jesus, Bronwyn, what did you do? I said, honey, a mess. But I'll say this though. If you have charges, I don't think you should be talking about anybody else's charges or lawsuits. That's just me though. So now Todd says this lying BS online is on the press. It affects all of us personally and professionally. Bronwyn apologizes. She says, I know it's going to affect you at work. This reflects poorly on you. And I'm not, listen, I'm going to just say this. I won't be surprised if Bronwyn does not come back next season because of all this mess. I just feel like this is putting a strain on their marriage. Todd does not like the show. He can't stand Lisa. He can't stand the fighting. Now this has come out. We know that he's in finance. So I would not be surprised. Like if Bronwyn does not come back, it won't be because she's fired. It'll be because her husband said, either get off this show or we're done. I said, my God. So now Bronwyn says, I saw your text that you don't think that I should go on this trip. Todd says, it's unclear to me why you want to spend time with these people. Why do you want to spend time with Lisa? Why do you want to fly 18 hours to spend time and be in the same room with somebody who always lies about you, lies about me, lied about Gwen? I struggle to understand. Baby, Todd was on one. He said, I wouldn't piss on Lisa if her brain was on fire. I said, Todd is not here for it. I had to chuckle. So now Bronwyn says, based on our past, there's a heavy possibility that she started these rumors. There's also a possibility that if she didn't start these rumors, she's perpetuating them. I know that. Then she adds, I wanted to be done fighting with Lisa, so the idea that she could do this while she apologized to me and acting like she wanted to move forward with me is pretty devious. So now Todd says, once again, I don't think you should go on the trip. A tiger can't change their stripes. She's not going to change. Like I said a year ago, why do you get in the gutter with her? You get down and muck around with slime. You go to the gutter, you muck around with slime. Then he says, if you decide to go, I got it. You're a big girl, a grown woman, I understand. But don't come home complaining that you at least got into a fight. You're setting yourself up for that. It's on you. I said, Todd, my goodness, do you have to be so harsh with your wife? The way he speaks to her drives me nuts. I mean, he pretty much told her, if you go on this trip, don't come home. I don't want to hear it. Like I said, well, damn. Let me say this now. My opinion. I think that, how do I put this? When you join these shows, if you have skeletons in your closet, like if you went to jail, if you had a DUI or whatever have you, that's going to come out, right? Like remember how when Atlanta first came on and we got the mugshots of Sheree, she was shoplifting as a teenager, she was stealing at a Saks, like that came out. When you get on these shows, if you were convicted for anything, if there were any charges, it's going to come out in the wash eventually, right? For you to just automatically jump to Lisa did this, I just don't think that's fair, because you had people questioning you when you lied about that necklace at the reunion. You had people saying, well, is she lying about what else? The minute you get on these shows, you have to understand that people will do their investigating and they will dig up stuff to see if you were on the up and up in the past. Yes, no, it's so true. Housewives fans are jobless and they will go do digging. Exactly. Best thing to do is spray your own tea first. Exactly. I feel like, Bronwyn, had you known this, you should have said this immediately. So that way nobody could even get you on this. Why are they always blaming Lisa for ish she did not do? Thank you. Like, I'm so glad that it's not just me fighting alone today. Can I tell y'all, thank y'all. Thank you all for the fact that we are all on the same page for the most part. I really appreciate y'all, because honey, I was just like, am I going crazy here? I don't think it's fair for them to just say, oh yeah, Lisa did that. Yes, the Housewives fans are like the vigilante. No, FBI is so true. It's so true. Again, y'all, I'm not saying that Lisa is blameless. All I'm saying is that I don't think it's fair for Bronwyn to jump to, yeah, Lisa did this. Baby, you knew that you had charges before you got on this show. You should have told us what the charges were when you got on the last season. Everybody on Housewives who's ever had a mugshot, a DUI, they've all been exposed. When Sonia Morgan joined New York in season 3, the news came out about her DUI before she joined the show. So let's not do that. Everybody who's done something had a run-in with the law. When Nene had her run-in with the law 30 years ago before she joined Housewives, they brought that up. Like, don't sit up here and say that it was Lisa or another castmate when you know good and damn well that the Housewives fans do not play. They will band together to dig up dirt on you. Yeah, thank you. I don't mess with Lisa, but that's not fair at all. Exactly. Bronwyn started bringing up Lisa's civil cases. I'm going to be honest, Lisa has been growing on me lately. Okay, see, I told you she would. Say this again for the people in the back. It was going to come out with or without Lisa. Thank you. I just said, Bronwyn, you have me completely messed up. You have me completely messed up to put this on Lisa. That's not fair, and you know it. These Housewives fans are crazy. They will all put $1 together to find out stuff. You have Housewives fans who like work in the county clerk's office and in the courts, and they'll sit up there and you know, tell information to blogs and get paid for it. So it's like, don't sit up here and do that. It was going to come out with or without Lisa. The audacity. I don't know. I was irritated. I was just so irritated. Hey, Kyra Bright, thank you for the super chat. I think Heather is trying to come off unbiased like Mary, but it comes off fake. Yeah, no, she's doing a poor job coming off unbiased. She is doing a very poor job. A very poor job. She looks crazy. Hey, Ivans, thank you for the super chat. Heather was throwing a bait on Meredith, but I'm happy Meredith is smart and clocked it. Yes. And spoiler, the plot won't work. Oh, absolutely. You could say anything about Lisa, but she's being authentically herself since season 1. Exactly. That's what I've always said. Good, bad, ugly. Lisa has always been herself and nobody else. And the other girls can't say the same. Heather's over here playing a character that she's always wanted to play since she was in high school. Lisa has always been herself. You cannot take that away from her. Hey, Kyra Bright, thank you for the super chat. Mary's habits in childhood explain why she infantilizes Robert Jr. the way she does. Oh, yes. As if she wasn't allowed to be a kid herself, so she projects that. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Because she said that when she was growing up, what was that, last season? She said her mom did not take care of them. Her mom would leave them in the house for weeks on end. She had to find food for herself. So there's definitely that part of emotionally stunted in her childhood. I agree with that. I don't think Bronwyn could have discussed it beforehand due to the circumstances of the case, but I also don't feel like Lisa should be the scapegoat. Exactly, because how did y'all get there? Exactly. Did they go to college together, Heather and Lisa? Yes, they did. Blaming Lisa for this is crazy. Mary got serious abandonment issues and then made to marry that man for financial stability issues. Very true. Yes, Lisa and Mary have always been themselves. You cannot take that away from either one of them. They have always been themselves no matter what. Angie and Whitney brought it up. Yup, it's on camera. And next episode, they obviously insinuate Lisa has something to do with it. Lisa's everybody's storyline. Yes, she really is. She really is. I can't wait. I can't wait because I already know that I'm going to be vindicated because the way some of y'all were tussling with me in the first few episodes this season, getting on me, I can't wait when this all turns around and you all see that I was right all along, honey, because they are trying it. She is everybody's storyline. They can't keep their names out of they can't keep her name out of their mouths. Listen, all I'm going to say is this. I'm going to be sitting right here with my bottle of champagne saying I was right. And y'all tried to jump me in my own comment section about, I'm going to be right here saying it's okay. I'm going to say it's okay. I'm going to be right here. You said you will not be vindicated about Lisa. Yes, honey, like Karen Huger said, I will be vindicated. Exactly. Oh, gosh. Well, the thing is, Lisa has done them all wrong, so it makes sense for them to all band together to take her down. No, listen, I'm not saying that Lisa is without fault. She has done some things in her time. I agree with you. But what I am saying is that she's not always wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, she does play villain and victim at the same time, but she's not always wrong. Okay. But yes, I hear you though. I hear you. I got you. All I'm gonna say, y'all, this episode, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna gloat too early. Let me wait until the end of the season. But all I'm gonna say is this, y'all. I just have a feeling that a lot of y'all might see it my way when it's all said and done. I have a feeling that y'all might see it my way. I just do. I just do. I just do. You said, see how that worked for Karen? Not you reading me. I am screaming. You said, okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Not my fives, honey. You said, I'll give you your fives. Well, I appreciate you. Yes, honey, we see each other. We sure do. Okay, all right. Now, y'all, let me say this. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yes, honey, give me my tens, okay? You said you get an 8 for me. Okay, I'll take that. Wishful thinking, but I'm here for it. You said Lisa's innocent in this little one, but she didn't get here for no reason. Okay, fine. I'll take that. All right, y'all. You said you'll give me a 7.5. Okay, I ate this one little thing. You said I ate this one. Y'all do me so wrong. Y'all said you ate this one little thing, okay? All right, y'all. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all said I won't give you your tens. I'll give you something. Y'all are not right. Today. Not a piece, honey. Not a piece. Not a 4.2. Y'all do me so dirty about. Oh my gosh. Well, give me my tens. Give me whatever, because I ate this one little thing in this episode. So I'll take it, y'all. Y'all have me scared. Thank you. Thank you. A 10 over here. Exactly. Thank you. Oh, not you said I'm one of Lisa's 6 lawyers. Oh, y'all be reading me down. Y'all have me screaming. I get one of these. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Y'all have me screaming here. Okay. Listen, y'all be putting belt to ass with me, honey. When I do SLC, I get so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's it gonna be like today? But I'm glad we were all on the same page. We've been on the same page for the last few episodes. So, y'all, they said I was one of her 6 lawyers. Thank you. Oh my gosh, y'all have me screaming. Yes, no, you said not a wet belt, honey. It's all in love. No, I live for it, y'all. I have a good old time. We have a good old time over here, honey. But yes, child, all I gotta say is just give me my due. Because all right, but when it turns out that I was right the entire time, just give me my official 10. That's all I ask. When the end of the season is near and we find out that I was right all along, just give me my official due. That's all I ask. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's definitely belt to ass on Britani all day. No matter what happens, Britani is still getting belt to ass, period. That's not changing over here. So we will all agree on that. Okay. Thank you so much. See, so I have somebody on my side. Thank you. Heather says she got the receipts proven timeline again, though. Please. And if I never hear that line again, it'll be too soon. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see, because if thank you for saying that, because if I said that, they're gonna get me in those comments. So I'm glad that you're saying it and not me, because that's exactly how I feel too. But thank you. You see, I didn't say it, y'all. Somebody else said it, not me. So you said it's on site with Britani. Exactly. I'm tired of Heather and her stupid receipts. You said, what are we going to give Brooke when she's proven wrong? It's going to be a pile up. Y'all going to do me so wrong. Oh gosh. Okay, see, I have some people who are with me in the chat. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. We see each other. You said not too much. Not I'm gonna have to eat crow. Oh, the shade of it all. Okay, so you said, well, to be fair, this is more of an ensemble cast. They're all needed. One monkey won't stop no show. That's true. Yes, honey. Yes, we do see each other. Exactly. We're on the same page when it comes to Lisa Brooke. We all know she's not more devious than the rest who put up smoke and mirrors so fans can overlook their flaws. Exactly. Exactly. We really see each other, y'all. Child. I'm going to end the live right here. I'm going to end it right here. But I just want to say thank you all for rocking with me today. And thank you all for just hearing me out and giving me my 7s, 8s, 9s. I appreciate y'all, okay? Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it right here. I probably will do another live either I'll do another live talking about like the current events of what's going on. But I'm going to end it here, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the recap. I know I did. And I will see you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll see you all for the next live, okay? Bye, guys.